Hi, my name is Joe Aponick, and I'm here today to talk to you a bit about VoIP Innovations and our product Apidaze. VoIP Innovations is a wholesale VoIP provider with hundreds of active DIDs all over the United States and in 60 different countries across the world. We focus on providing service to the wholesale and large enterprise markets, with over 2,000 active customers and experienced support and provisioning teams to help you do business. Apidaze is our CPaaS offering, allowing you to control your communication via simple APIs. So why would you want to use something like this? Firstly, there's a certain barrier to entry into the communication space. Traditional PBX or switching equipment may require you to purchase and host hardware or pay hosting fees for having someone else host it for you. They also usually speak their own language, requiring your team to spend possibly months learning how to use it. Apidaze only charges you for your usage and gives you a language agnostic interface so your team can use the programming languages and tools they're used to. Here's a brief, high-level look at the platform we provide. We'll go over each of these pieces in detail, but in short, there's a REST API to perform active requests, things that need to happen when the request is made. There's a call control API, which would be reactive on your part. We'll contact your application when we receive a call or an SMS for one of your numbers. And finally, there's a WebRTC Client application so that you can connect audio and video directly from a browser. First, let's talk about the REST API. From here, you can manage your application webhooks, the URL of your application that we reach out to. You can upload sound clips, download call recordings, send SMS or MMS messages, start phone calls, list and modify any calls in progress. You can also buy and manage phone numbers, or if you have existing SIP devices, you can create and manage credentials for those. Onto the reactive portion. When we receive a call for or from your account, we'll reach out to your application and ask it what to do. You tell us what to do with a straightforward XML dialect. With these responses, you can tell us to play sound files, whether you've uploaded those to our storage or directly from your web server. You can use it text-to-speech. We use Google's text-to-speech engine, and their full list of languages and voices are available for your use. You can record phone calls and even receive a transcription of the call in real time. Or you can even forward the call to a SIP device, a WebRTC user, or even an external number like a cell phone. And since it's your application controlling the call, you can use any information available from your existing systems to decide what to do. And for the last piece, we have the WebRTC client. There's really not much to talk about here besides what's on screen. The intent of the client library is to get you up and running with audio or video calls with as few lines of code as possible. It works in all major browsers, including the mobile versions, and includes support for audio, video, and chat. Finally, I'd like to talk a bit about a few applications we've seen in the past to give you an idea of what the system is capable of. Up first is actually an entry that we saw in the most recent TADHack Mini in Orlando. It was an adventure game called TeleQuest. The team only had 48 hours, and in that time, they put together a fairly fully featured adventure game, voice response interface for what to do, a conference for sort of a bar to converse before and after the quest, even some bosses to fight. The whole thing was very impressive, and like I said, it only took 48 hours to put this together. Next, we have a school bus tracker. This is from an existing customer, and the company is still in business, so I don't feel comfortable mentioning any names. But the basic idea was that they went out to a couple of different school districts in their area and installed GPS trackers in all of the school buses. They developed a back-end system that kept track of all of the school buses, the routes they took, and allowed their customers to register their phone number and subscribe to certain bus routes, essentially. During the during the route, during the morning or afternoon or morning pickup or afternoon drop-off periods of time, their customer could call in and receive live updates on where the bus is and how long it would take to get to their particular bus stop. Their customers could also text in and receive the same updates, and they had a functionality, an option to subscribe for automated alerts. So you could opt in to receive a text message when your school bus was 5-10 minutes away from your stop. So if you're busy getting the children ready in the morning, you get that notification that you only have 10 minutes and it's live information. You don't, if the bus is delayed or running early, you don't have to hope that you're out there on time and then fall back to dropping them off. Same thing on drop-off time. You don't have to get there super early and risk having your child standing there at risk at the bus stop waiting for you to show up. The last example I'd like to talk about is actually something our own developers put together early on. It's a virtual assistant named Vi. The way this functions is, for example, if my phone number were assigned to this, at first, a caller would be presented with a fairly standard find me, follow me situation. The call could ring multiple numbers simultaneously or in order. In my case, it was simultaneous between my office cell phone and home number. And assuming you don't answer, then it goes into its interactive mode. It sends a text message to my cell phone and informs me that there's a call incoming and who's calling, and presents you with a few options to react. Very simply, first, you don't want to talk to this person, you can forward them straight to voicemail. Second, just legitimately missed the call, you can opt to have it call you back. Third, it had full calendar integration, so I could have it negotiate for a best time for a callback for me. And finally, there's an interactive mode that takes advantage of the text-to-speech and live transcription that turns what is a two-way phone conversation to the caller into an SMS thread on my end. Everything the caller says is texted to me, and everything I respond with is spoken back to the caller. So in theory, if you're stuck on a phone call, you can manage to take something important in a side channel and not miss that important lead or contact or other information that's coming in through that phone call. Okay, that's about all the time I have for now. If you'd like to sign up and play around with it or view our documentation, the links are here on this page. Go ahead, sign up, look at the interface. It's really not that hard to get started. We have a hosting for some XML. So to play with the initial functions, you don't even need to have a web server set up and running. If you have any technical questions, you can email myself or support via the first two email addresses listed. And if you have any concerns about pricing or account status, you can talk to our sales department. All right, have a good day.